You follow a glowing waypoint marker straight to your objective, hit a generous checkpoint, and if you take damage, you simply duck behind cover until your health regenerates. In a modern video game, getting lost is effectively impossible. PC gaming in the 1980s and 90s operated on a different philosophy. In the Sphinx Quest franchise, you play as Roger Wilco, a hapless janitor bumbling through science fiction tropes. Roger was never designed for success. He was designed to die constantly, and often hilariously. During this period, developers did not see themselves as your guide. They functioned as adversaries, and their goal was to make you fail. Sierra Online built their games around highly obscure puzzles, sudden traps that killed without warning, and zero hand-holding. The developers openly admitted this hostility. In the manuals of the time, they wrote that their job was to give you a hard time, and that they intended for you to see the EOG, or end of game screen, often. There was no internet to search for instant answers. Faced with this level of digital sadism, players needed a physical lifeline to maintain their sanity. That lifeline took the form of strategy guides like the Space Quest Companion. This thick physical manual served as a weapon to level the playing field. Surviving a Sierra game meant deciphering deeply unfair mechanics. This book functioned as a mandatory translation device for a hostile digital world. To justify the random deaths, the creators wrapped the entire franchise in a self-aware meta-lore. The fictional origin story claimed that in 1984, Sierra executives found a wicker basket on their doorstep, containing battered floppy disks sent back in time from the future. The developers, calling themselves the two guys from Andromeda, claimed the games were actually true, translated historical documents of Roger Wilco's life. Framing the game as a true story provided a comedic excuse for the illogical ways the universe would actively try to kill the player. This meta-joke created a shared reality between the trolling developers and the paranoid players. To survive it, players had to formalize their tactics. Authors Peter and Jeremy Spear documented this survival strategy in The 12 Spear Rules for Playing Computer Games. Rule 1 outlines the necessity of saving the game. Without constant saves, you risked losing hours of progress to a single, arbitrary death sequence. Rules 3 and 4 establish a requirement to take absolutely everything that isn't nailed down. Anything in the environment could become the exact item you need 3 hours later. Rule 6 introduces moon logic, puzzle solutions that require players to attempt totally illogical combinations of items to bypass obscure obstacles. These rules systematically rewired the player's brain to match the paranoia of a 1990s game developer. Today, a player can pull up a walkthrough in seconds. In the 90s, solving a single screen could take weeks of agonizing trial and error. That high friction forced retro gaming to become a communal experience. Players collaborated and traded notes just to stay alive. The authors who meticulously mapped out these games and wrote this professional guide were a father and his high school-aged son. The book includes a dedication to the son's 10th grade English teacher, serving as a record of this specific, intergenerational gaming culture. The severe difficulty of Space Quest functioned as a catalyst for real-world connection and teamwork. Gaming culture has shifted from surviving extreme friction to avoiding it entirely. But the frustrating deaths and obscure puzzles were the core experience. The Spears recognized this in their final sign-off, noting that the true reward was the act of overcoming the obstacles lurking between the player and the finish line. Modern game design has retired the end-of-game screen in favor of a frictionless experience, trading away the unique thrill of conquering a world that actively wanted you to fail.